Yo soy Dorinda. No, I'm not. I'm not Frank Cifuentes tampoco.
No muy parecido.
La soledad de la inmigración that thrust me deeper into the land of promises, promises y más promesas. 5 years old, volando para San Gringolandia, searching for solitude in my own heart, another plane, between cobbled steel wings, between lenguas y culturas, further away each breath from mi tierra natal, Maya, Managua, de mis abuelos, primos, las palmeras fading beneath the July clouds. El cielo comenzó a llorar imágenes of past and present fear, numbing rumble of the propellers underlining mi primer adiós, niñez, adiós, Nicaragua, pueblo querido. Hola, Hunters Point, La Filmo, Mission, LA, Bernal Heights. Hola, Soledad. Dime, Soledad, how many lonely other paisanos crossed the deserts, flew, swam, walked with heat and thirst, competing for their demoralization, their demise? How many entertained you, found you in the eye of their hearts, en su corazón? Dímelo, Soledad, of the thousands and thousands that died trying to get here, the thousands of creative ways used by nuestra raza to appear later legalizados in California, San Francisco, La Misión, casadas en Los Ángeles, cualquier lado en Washington, La Villita en Chicago, en el vaivén de New York, Spanish Harlem, Louisiana, the Bronx, y ahí ando yo, andan dominicanos, boricuas, africanos, ando yo, the thousands that died trying to get here, los 44 millones o más o menos como yo, with soledad propia. Y aquí también ando yo. This one is called, it's a kind of a continuation of it. It's called Of Martial Love and Verse. This is when I joined the Marine Corps when I was like, it was like 17, man, I think, 18. I dropped out of college. Didn't have any, perspectives, no money. My mama, single mama, 3 kids. I said, no, man, I'm going into the Marines. And then I was boxing. I was going to the Rome Olympics, messed up my eyes. So then I went back to work, and then I discovered that I went to Vietnam as a merchant seaman. A lot of different types of things, trying to find out what the reality is of the system of economics, and myself, still trying to find myself. ¿Verdad? In '68, Bob Marley and Santana painted the exit signs, drew the doors on Babylonia, with calls to Black Magic Woman to Africa, to unite, where Bob Dylan spun hard reins on our lysergic dreams, embraced by the same killer philosophy that attempted to mute a brave Jack and Bobby Kennedy, that gave rise to the '68 Chicago Convention police riots, Ginsburg, Rubin Hoffman, Young Judíos, in '68 uprising in Tlatelolco, 300 Mexican students burned. In '68 is Paris burning. Same social altar of hegemony gave rise to my Caribbean consciousness. Caribe soy, Caribe soy. Y como dijo Neruda, then along came poetry. Mis poemas, windows to view lo interno, lo bello, the blood and flow of my word, beyond its pain, to future languages and time, external, eternal. Musa muñeca vestida de soledad, dibujando una corona de palabras for our Calvario, disfrazada de puro amor, brought a lyrical marimba for our voices of distant night, where poetry lifted me to my innermost chi, to the China seas to search for dignity in death, but found the fallacy of Western Nixonian democracy. In the misguided American war against Asia, Vietnamese Holocaust, the canto gave me the courage to see and tell truth, the moral authority to oppose it, denounce it, to self-defense, y siempre la soledad, tempering emotional survival in San Francisco of '72, the earthquake in Managua, 10,000 battered bodies of mi pueblo pickpocketed by perennial Somoza dinosaurs, like the trails of distant ink spots on my front page, headlines, Poeta, Pancho Aguila recaptured, reconfined, Folsom prison, tiger cages, devouring his ephemeral liberty, our youth again. Yet poetry gave me the tools, las agallas, to organize, to unite with profound love, como Che, beginning with myself, mi familia. Más cerca Nicaragua brought drum and martial words, art to be gently on our senses, illuminate our failing condition as consumer of our own products, surplus labor, under and unemployed, disorganized, disenfranchised, exploited, incarcerated victims of homeland insecurity, triggered my renewed commitment as Sandinista to sovereignty, cultural survival, patria libre o morir. Poem called Soledad Cinco was to a brother who had just gotten out of Soledad prison at the time. We first met, went to read poetry together in Seattle, Washington. Tomás Ibarra, Frausto, y la Antonieta Castañeda brought us up there. She wanted to show at that time that we were not academics. And Raulito hated academics, man. Big, strong. Remember the fights that Raulito had? I used to have to calm him down, man. And, hey, man, we need them, ese. And he was in Soledad prison many years. Raulito Salinas' brother died about 3 years now. Love that man. Antonia Castañeda, in 72, Antonia Castañeda became spiritual madrina to Raúl Salinas and myself. Our comadre Toña set the forum, assisted, then shed light on our verbal symbiosis. Toña organized floricantologías of Neo-Chilambalam recitals in Seattle University of Salinas and Vargas, Mexicano and Mayan word warriors. Raúl and I lit the fire of purification in the heart of the Seattle Universal City, each blazing our personal trails towards global liberation, the globalization of love, joy, and sustainable justice. Counting lyrical cadence between cuero y humo, cantamos y contamos, Raúl Salinas dibujando un son to freedom, to el igual. His words end the sonic ladders to elevate our thoughts. Beyond the guard towers of this empire, Tapón describes, dissects, and dispels Soledad, the disunited state of imprisonment, with his fugitive tongue, fine chiseling forms of survival, each syllable illuminating through the stone walls of state security insanity. Raúl tripping through mind jails, his poesía strapped firmly under his alas for the long hard flight, circling in and out of Aztlán, un joven Quetzalcoatl, doing time in imposed spaces, learning lessons, sharing lessons about time past, time lost, hard times, preparing for new times, perennial struggles. Juntos recitamos, invocamos el Quetzal, rising from the ashes. I, defining the duality of Indo-immigrantes in English spiced with Spanish. My two colonized languages weave to fit my personal pain to collective action that depict the solitude of my trips through China, Mexico, Vietnam, Nicaragua, nuestra Indoamérica. Tambores melding the ferocity of hunger and resistance, of peace to poetic justice. Raúl spinning secrets of Pinto shamans, inhaling themselves into another recess of their institutional purgatory, their inner thoughts, memory of life beyond walls, nirvana, replete with external, internal, clanging of iron gates, of coveted keys, of another kind of solitude, la soledad of the bars and stripes, of Pancho Aguilar's palabrazos, Peltier, Mumia, the Cubano Five, where Raúl traversed deep into himself, exposed the steel bar fangs of maximum security, racism, confining his need to love, humanity, women, himself, discovered his plumage, Aztlán, Copan, Nezahualcóyotl, El Sexto Sol, survival, discovered his solitude, soledad, in maximum freedom, juntos in our common struggle to freedom, y el tiempo será ya, y el tiempo siempre será ya, carnal. How much time do I got?
Dorinda, cállate.
Bueno, pues. Bueno, pues. Cállate. I remember what El Gordo was saying to you the day I had to get him off you. Ricardón. Alambrista te digo el cabrón. ¿Te acuerdas? I remember I had to get him off you, man. Brown Buffalo. Oh no, and he was messing with Tapón too. Remember he was getting his big belly bouncing Tapón around out here outside. I had to jump in on that one. We were lucky. Yeah.
You're supposed to press the button so your name could come up.
Oh really? No, it hasn't stopped. It still says on. He said the press is off when that one started off.
Ah, there we go.
Now it's off, period, see? She told me to do it. Tyson, she told me to do it. No importa, ¿verdad? ¿Qué cagada? Now I feel like leaving, man. Okay. This is a poem. Oh, by the way, Ronnie Arias. What year were you there with Daniel?
Over here.
Oh, okay, sorry. What year were you there with Daniel?
Let me see.
Because I was working with her at the Foreign Ministry. I was the director of North America. Huh?
86.
Yeah, I was the director of North America. So it might have been me trying to work with you. In Daniel, yeah, I shared a little mountain. We had a little plastic cover. We all slept on the floor with Pomares, Daniela. During the war, I was up there in the war with them, sharing the rain and the forests and stuff, Daniel. But thank you very much for bringing Daniel Ortega. Is a very good man. He has his tremendous difficulties right now trying to rule, with the problems that we have. Pero Daniel, we shared some very tremendous moments together, Ortega. And at one moment, he asked me to go back. We went to Switzerland to try to get some support for the guerrilla. And so I went up there, and then I went from there, we went from Paris, we stopped in New York, and I was very sad, so I wrote this piece there like in the end of 77. In the mountains, we were not dressed like we needed to be seen or touched. No Paris hang out in front of the winged statues of Saint Michel, mounds of twisted scarves, dark glasses, and easy walks of seduction in May spring light. In the mountains, we didn't need the empty flattery of camouflaged fuck words to lubricate the lovelessness of the night. A cultured smile in Switzerland with all its perfect mountains, and Nicaragua's gold in their bank as backdrop couldn't warm a guerrilla chest in September rain. Oh, you Fifth Avenue, New York, fur coats, fur hats, fur words laced with alcohol and imagined love affairs, with billboard meat mutants. You, America, in need of real love, real women.